Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and much appreciated you guys making some time out of your day to hang out with me a little bit and check the video out. Really appreciate that. And guys, today I've got several different things I want to talk about. Number one is how the upper management of Bassmaster needs replaced. Number two, about how Bassmaster is basically telling the Elite Series pros to pound sand, and get into this a little bit about some developments that's came up the last couple weeks that I think you guys might find interesting here. Also, guys, a quick reminder, you may have heard me talk about this, but I just want to let you know that Tackle Warehouse has got a really cool sale going on right now where it's, you buy more, you save more. In other words, if you buy like 10 lures or something from Tackle Warehouse, you get a certain discount. If you buy 20 lures, you get an even bigger discount, and the more you buy, the bigger those discounts. So if you guys are wanting to get stocked up on some good fall fishing tackle, now's a good time to do it. I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video. If you guys would like to use that link, it's a good way to support the channel, and appreciate you guys putting up with the plugs here. Really appreciate that. Okay guys, let me start out with saying this. Let me back up a little bit before I really get into hammering this video here. Back when I was a little kid, back in the early to mid 1970s, my mom and dad got me a subscription to Bassmaster magazine. And this was back when, I think the first one I remember was back when Jack Haynes won the 1975 Bassmaster Classic. I think that, or maybe a little bit before that. And anyway, back then Bassmaster, they had an advertisement in the Bassmaster magazine. Bassmaster magazine was awesome back there. Bassmaster sucks right now. The magazine's pathetic. But back in the 70s, that's when it was the best. And anyway, there was a little ad in there that said, join Bassmaster, and then you get all this stuff. You get like a bass decal, a Bassmaster Sportsman Society decal. You got a Bassmaster like a logo that you could sign, like a patch you could sign on your shirt. And you got like a pack of Man's jelly worms and, you know, crankbait or something like that. And I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I remember getting my package when mom and dad got me the membership. I remember getting my package from Bass, and it had all that stuff in it, and I was so proud. I remember I put my Bassmaster decal on my little tackle box, and I had my mom sew on the Bassmaster patch on one of my shirts, and I couldn't be prouder to be a member of Bass. How things have changed from the 70s, the way Bassmaster was in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, to the shape that it's in right now. I'm just disgusted about what's going on. So here's the situation, guys, I want to talk about. You guys heard me, if you saw my video I did this morning, I was talking about how the electronic companies are getting ready to announce a piece of technology that's going to make live scope obsolete. And I was talking about how Bassmaster had a little bit involved with that. So anyway, two of my sources that fish the Elite Series out there's two different guys, and you're going to hear about this more in the probably next week. You're going to hear them on some podcasts probably. But anyway, they wanted to conduct an independent survey amongst the Elite Series pros on who was for or against the cheater box. And Bassmaster did an internal independent poll on this, and they let the anglers know. They basically said, oh, it was sort of split, you know, between people wanted it and people that didn't want it. So first of all, guys, I'm not saying that Bassmaster's lying here, but given their track record here, I don't trust the polls to be, I don't trust them to conduct an accurate poll on this. I think they have way too much of a hidden agenda, and they have a need. There's a handful of people on Bassmaster that really have their heels dug in on protecting their sponsorships with the electronic companies. So I think they have an agenda behind this. So I didn't look for the polls to be a real accurate representation, and neither did these two Elite Series anglers I'm talking about. So they conducted an independent poll, and these guys called all the Bassmaster pros, everyone that fished the Bassmaster Elite Series, and they wanted to know their opinion on, you know, forward-facing sonar for 2025. The results of these polls came back in, and there was an overwhelming majority of the Elite Series pros, including young ones, including younger anglers, that wanted a ban or a limitation on forward-facing sonar. This particular, you know, survey was presented to Bassmaster to let them know what the deal is, and basically Bassmaster just told them to pound sand in one ear and out the other. Basically leading to the fact that if they did this, if they decided to make this move to severely limit or ban forward-facing sonar, that the electronic company said that they would leave. Guys, a couple different things here. And on top of that, they said one of the reasons that they didn't do that is they tried to, change the scheduling, so there'd be more of an equal playing field. That's a prime example, guys, of the tech committee at Bassmaster not knowing jack crap about bass fishing, because they think that they can, tweak the schedule to make it fair, but they don't. These people don't fish, guys, on the tech committee. It's other than Davey Height. All the other people, they don't have a clue about bass fishing, and they don't realize that forward-facing sonar cheater box can be used in shallow water. It's like there's a ton of tournaments get won with spotlighting bass that are on spawning beds, so that you can't do that. But anyway, back to Bass on this, they were basically saying that they're going to lose the electronic companies sponsorships if they make some type of a ban on it. No, they're not. The reason they're not going to lose the sponsorships from them is because aside from some YouTubers, Bassmaster has the biggest platform for advertisers to advertise on. Now, I do think they tweak their numbers. I think they get a lot of clicks and impressions that they say are clicks and impressions that don't add up to legitimate clicks and impressions. There's a lot of individual YouTubers out there that get more impressions and more viewers and more watch time than Bassmaster. But in terms of a tournament organization, Bassmaster is the largest format for an organization to advertise on. So if you went to an electronic company and told them, okay, we're going to ban forward-facing sonar from our tournaments, but you can still sell all your other technology, GPS mapping, side imaging, 2D sonar, whatever, you can still promote that. They're not going to leave. Where else are they going to go? You think they're going to leave the biggest format that they have to promote their products and miss out on selling all their other products except for forward-facing sonar just to the Elite Series pros? That argument has zero water to it. So the point of what my video is, guys, here about the upper management of Bassmaster needs replaced is, guys, I don't feel, in my opinion, that they have the best interest of the sport in mind as far as the sustainability, and I don't think they understand what the hell they're doing. They obviously have no awareness of the history and the tradition of the sport that Ray Scott created back, when I first started, following bass. I'm a lifetime member of Bass, and I have been since the 1970s. Like I talked about, I was good friends with Ray Scott. I mean, I understand the evolution of bass from the time it started to where it is now, and I am embarrassed for I'm embarrassed for what the Bassmaster Sportsman Society has become. And it doesn't take that much to change. The problem that we have here, guys, is there's a lot of people that make the decisions this is my opinion. I'm not trying to state this as absolute fact. This is my opinion from my observation and the observation of a bunch of my buddies that fish the Elite Series. This organization is being run by people that do not understand the reality of tournament fishing, don't understand the history and the tradition of the sport, don't really have that in mind. They have some other agendas that are causing the organization to fail. And I think Bassmaster even mentioned, it's like they're tired of hearing about this forward-facing sonar. They want to put it behind them. Sure, they want to put it behind them because it is creating outrage amongst their membership. As much as they want to try to deny the reality of it and try to stick their heads in the sand on it, and they want to try to sane wash it, and they want to try to sugarcoat everything, they are creating the problems that they have. Bassmaster is creating this entire public relations and image problem that they have on their own because they are dug in to defending forward-facing sonar and maintaining those electronic company sponsorships. It's like, I don't know what those guys are paying them, but it must just be unbelievable because they are willing to burn their organization down to keep those sponsorships, despite the fact that the overwhelming majority of the public, the viewers, the Elite Series pros, they don't want it. They're tired of that crap. They don't want to have to deal with it. They understand that it's ruined the sport of fishing, and Bassmaster has enabled that to take place. So in my opinion, obviously this is just not going to happen, but the entire Bassmaster upper management needs to be replaced with people that have critical thinking skills and understand the long-term sustainability of the sport, what is best for the sport in the long term, what is best for the whole tradition and the integrity and the ethics of the sport, And from what I can see right now, guys, the only thing that's on their mind and their agenda is protecting their relationship with the electronic companies at all costs. And I hate to say that, but it's like their actions speak louder than words. And it really, really disturbs me. It makes me sad because like I said, I have been a fan. Bassmaster has been a part of my life for over 50 years, before these guys are even born that are running Bassmaster now. And to see the point where it was and where it has become now, and that change and that morph that we've seen specifically over about the last 10 years. The last 10 years, it's like, it has just, I can't wrap my mind around the self-destruction that's taking place with this. So anyway, guys, get ready, because you're going to be hearing some about this. This is fixing to be, well known within the fishing industry coming up over the next couple weeks here. And hopefully Bassmaster will pleasantly surprise me and say, look, guys, this is all they'd have to do, guys. They say, look, guys, we finally decided to listen. We've heard the outrage, we've heard the complaints, we've heard everything about that, and we realize now it's for the betterment of the sport if we just ban forward-facing sonar and any other technological advancements moving forward. We're not going to allow them in our tournament. We've got a baseline. We've created a baseline where you can have one unit on your console, you can have one unit up front, you can have GPS mapping, 2D sonar, 360 and down imaging. That is our baseline. We're not going to allow any technological advancements above that, just like every other sport has put a limit on technological advancements to create their baseline. But Bassmaster refused to do that because they are being led right now by a group of people that just do not understand the reality and have no vision for the future or the foresight of what is coming around the corner with this. And they're completely disconnected from their constituents and their fan base and their viewers, and they're allowing the vocal minority, the very vocal minority, to basically color their opinions and their decisions. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about it. We'll talk later. See you.